Hi. How's it going? Hi. Today is Thursday, November 27th, 2025. Am I coming in clear? Well, hey Ed, what's up? Nice to see you. Happy Thanksgiving. I believe it's Thanksgiving in the United States, if I remember correctly. Hope you get some time off from work and some time with your loved ones. I hope you got some good plans. I do. Yeah, things are going good. Things are going good. I got the video out yesterday. Nice. Ah, lovely. Yeah, yeah. Oh, good. Good, 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 good. Glad to hear that you have time off. Yeah, it's those little days that they add up and they give you, you know, they give your mind a rest from the grind, the daily grind, you know. Yeah, that's awesome. Glad to hear. Glad to hear. Yeah, I got the video out yesterday. Yeah, power supply turned out pretty good. I got it just behind me here. Turned out pretty good. Hey? Looks pretty good. Got some mounting holes on there this time. I realized I didn't, with the ESP32 sampler, I didn't put mounting holes in the corner. So I need to I got to remember to do that every time. Because that'll probably be how we're going to mount it in the enclosure, right? Whenever we figure that stuff out. But yeah, it's a good size, I think. You know, it's not overly large. It's not small, though, either, right? Yeah, you should give them a shot. Give them a shot. They, as I mentioned in the video, they got a big sale going on. So it might be a good time if you're thinking about trying them out to try it out, you know? But you know, everybody's got their own place they like to go to. The one that you go to, what is it? JC something. Yeah, they seem pretty good too. And then the other one, there's one that I used in college too. I think it's called Gold Phoenix or something. And the benefit with them is, JLC PCB, yeah. The one, Gold Phoenix is kind of interesting because you can jump on, they have like this, I think it was like, where they've got like a job queued up, right? And you can kind of like jump on other people's larger jobs for a discounted price, I think, something like that. It's pretty interesting though. Definitely worth looking into. I think it's Gold Phoenix. I think that's what they're called. But yeah. But definitely, I mean, PCBWay. I mean, like I've had zero complaints. The quality is really good, and you know they're super fast. Like you if you place an order on Monday, you usually get it by either the end of the week for me or the following Monday. So that kind of turnaround time is pretty fantastic, so yeah, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And yeah, it's pretty good. PCB basic. Okay. Oh, weird. Yeah, Osh Park. I used Osh Park at work at one point. I believe they're actually based in Canada, but they're a bit more expensive. Yeah, DigiKey, you would think they would be reliable too. I think all these places are generally pretty good, right? But yeah, no, PCBWay for me has been great. But yeah, Osh Park I've heard of. Maybe they're in the States actually. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. One of them's in the US, one of them's in Canada too. but just like, and obviously for me, getting anything from the States right now is a little bit on the pricey side. So I try to find other places to kind of shop at the moment, just because of the duty and whatnot. So yeah, thanks, Brian. Thanks, man. Yeah, it turned out pretty good. I'm happy with how it turned out. Yeah. I think it turned out pretty good. It's definitely some things I would do differently next time. But generally, I think it's pretty good. I think I definitely could have gotten away with using smaller devices on here, and some kind of like surface mount stuff. But for now, this is great. I think it's fine for where we are right now, and it still works, still clean, a nice clean power supply. So looking forward to getting the stuff really going next week. I'm going to be getting going with the S3, like with the videos, I mean. It should be really good. It's going to be a bit more of like the first video for the ESP32 S3 is going to be a bit of an introduction, but that's just because, as I've said before, I'm trying to lay it out in a way that people can follow along. So I want to kind of take it little steps at a time, but the video after the next video is going to be like, we're going to jump right into it. It's going to be likely the ADC or the DAC. I'm not sure which one yet I want to do first. Probably the ADC. And then, so we'll try like recording some audio and then figuring out a way to kind of like verify that we've stored information in the ESP32 S3. So that's kind of the basic plan. So not next Wednesday, but the following Wednesday will be the introduction to the ESP32 S3. Then the following video will be either the DAC or the ADC. And then the next video after that will be the DAC or the ADC, whichever one I don't do first. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Ed, you're right. I mean, the power supply is a pretty big chunk, right? I mean, it's pretty big because, like I don't think I'm going to make an individual video for every single peripheral that we use, right? Like I think, buttons and faders could probably be lumped into one video. Screen, like the OLED, the rotary encoder, and the SD card will probably be in one video. So yeah, I mean, we're humming along really good now. Once we get it, once I get that microcontroller video up, we're going to be really moving along. And once all that stuff's breadboarded, we'll do another PCB, probably one or two PCBs for that section, because we'll have one that's kind of, we'll have one that kind of contains the microcontrollers, right? And then we'll have one that probably has like the buttons and the faders on it, so it can be attached to the enclosure. And then, then we're basically, once we get that stuff figured out, I mean, there'll be probably a big chunk, my thought is that once we get the PCBs made for that kind of like microcontrollers and peripherals, like we'll get it back here, and then there'll be a big firmware kind of video, I guess, right? Where we're getting through the real bits and pieces of how it works. So yeah, I mean, like there's still a long road ahead for sure, but it is a big chunk of the project done. Like having one PCB done of potentially 2 or 3 PCBs is, yeah, it's pretty exciting, you know? And yeah, I'm pumped. And I'm really hoping to connect with somebody who can kind of give me like a Fusion 360 crash course. I've done some in college. I messed around with Fusion, but it's, you know, I'm hardly a whiz at it, that's for sure. So yeah, and I just realized I forgot to turn off my furnace, so you might hear some background noise today. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we're humming along really well. It's getting really close to, you know, really developing and we're going to get the sounds soon. You know what I mean? So that's really exciting. You know, other cool thing, I got the rest of these ESP32 samplers soldered. One sec, I'll grab them. So now I've got all five done and ready to go, ready to upload code. So the plan is I'm gonna get all the code updated on these, test them all out, make sure they run correctly, and then yeah, and then start syncing them together and hopefully tweak the code a bit, get things running a little bit smoother, and start making some beats with the lo-fi sampler. Try to make some like cool stuff with it. Probably hook up the BeatStep Pro. Yeah, it's a lot of buttons, that's for sure. It took a while. It took about a week of like on and off soldering. So yeah, pretty happy with how they turned out though. Yeah, definitely feel like I'm, you know, at a good place with these, and then we'll get that mixer done for them so I can do line level sampling and the volume output stuff. Yeah, and then I'm actually gonna power it with a power supply, right? The I don't have it handy on me, but one of those Eurorack power supplies that I built that's very similar to the one for the S3-1200. So yeah, been busy with stuff, and looking forward to getting all these samplers hooked up, and my BeatStep Pro probably will be hooked up, and you know, we'll make some cool sounds and stuff, mess around a bit. So that'll be really cool. So yeah, been busy with stuff, and then what else? Yeah, so I guess we're looking at the Line 6 Echo Park still, right? And I guess that's sort of like the next thing that we should look at. So I've switched up my setup again. I've got a little tiny tripod now in front of me, so you guys can get a better look at what I'm doing with this button situation. Look at that, nice and close. So let me move out of the way here. So here's the deal. I've emailed places, and I'm not getting much of a response about this part. So I've devised a plan, a very simple plan to kind of fix this thing, hopefully. Yeah. So you're probably wondering what this is, right? This is a clamp. I'm actually clamped it down because you might not remember this, but there's a little spring on this shaft here that's supposed to spring back when the pedal's released, right? So And obviously there's those little plastic pieces that yes, for the switch. Yes, yes. There's those little plastic pieces that were broken off that I found in the enclosure a couple weeks ago when I cracked it open for the first time. So those little pieces hold this in place. So if you look really closely, you can see that the clearance around this little hole here is pretty tight. Pretty tight. So my thought was, what if I put like a little sleeve on here, slightly bigger than the outside shaft, to kind of secure it in place so when you release the button, it doesn't pop out anymore. So here's the plan. This is my plan that we're going to try to execute today. So I was looking around for like this sleeve idea of having like a plastic sleeve that I could put over top of it that wouldn't add to the height of the button, right? That wouldn't add to the height of this, because my concern is that if you add height to this part right here, like if I added plastic to that it would likely throw off the tap tempo portion of the circuit. So I've got this box of these kind of things. Do you guys know these? They're just like little plastic sleeves with like a connector on it. So here's one that has like one of these connectors on it. So my thought is I'm going to trim this down. I'm going to trim this so that it's like, I don't know, not very high, but I'm going to take off, ring crimps. Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to take off the metal piece and kind of like chop it down so that it's like a little bit just high enough that it'll be significant so that I can put it around here and stop the switch from popping out every time. And then I'm going to take a little super glue and just drop a couple drops of super glue in there and see how it holds. And then I'm going to put it through its paces this week and see how it goes. Because I think trying to 3D print that, or I think I want to, actually, let me back up a second. To model that in Fusion would take me a while because I'm not, as I said, I'm not really that good at it. The 3D scanning thing is definitely something that I would like to try at some point. I just don't know if I have the resources to make that happen right now. And I feel like this is worth a try, and it's not invasive, where I'm altering the part to such a point that I couldn't still 3D model it, if that makes any sense, if it doesn't work. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. So if you check this out, it really almost fits on top. You really got to press it down to make it fit on top, which is good. So like that, but I'm going to trim this section off, this whole top section off, so that when you release the button, it stops. So when I release the button, let me take the clamp off. Now you can see that the button is still in the correct spot. See that? So that's my plan. That's the idea. That's going to hold it in place. Yeah, good point, Russ. Yeah, I was thinking that too. But I think this is like I think this is going to be like the non-invasive approach to at least see if I'm correct about the button being the only issue with the pedal. And the thing is, I can adjust it. It's tight enough that I can adjust the height of it. So if it does need to go a bit higher, I think that should work. So now I just gotta trim down this thing so that it's not huge, right? Because obviously I can't have that. I can't have added height to that switch, right? Because as I said, I'm afraid that it's going to mess with the tap tempo on the pedal, right? Okay, so I'm going to put this clamp back on. And this kind of just holds it in place, right? Oh, jeez. Holy moly. Okay. Oh, and I forgot to mention that sorry, I gotta grab this. I forgot to mention on that too is that I did talk to the owner about this, and he wasn't really that thrilled of the idea of putting it in a new enclosure. He mentioned that would be kind of like a last resort kind of situation, which I totally get. You know, like if he wants to sell it in the future for whatever reason, you know what I mean? It's probably better that it's in the original enclosure. Okay, so oh, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about model glue. That would be a really good one. Model glue is a really good idea because it's safe with plastic too, right? Where am I here? Okay. So now I got to figure out how to trim that down. So I think to start, we can try to remove this. Try to remove this metal piece. I might need 2 sets of pliers on this, eh? It's definitely spinning. I think it's better to kind of take your time and try to get it to come out, right? Maybe if I bend it a bit. One sec. Actually, I've got these big scissors here that might work. They're really heavy-duty scissors. Might actually be able to just trim it. There we go. I don't know where the metal piece went, but here's the plastic piece. So I think I need to shave this down a little bit. It's better than what it was. I do have a piece of sandpaper. I do have some sandpaper. I could try to sand it down a little bit because like I said, I don't want to add height to it. Let me, so yeah, it's a bit high still. So let's do this. Let's try. So I've got this piece of sandpaper. We'll try doing that. Dee-da-dee-da-dee, do-da-do-da-do. Hey Russ, did you get my my direct message on Patreon? I sent you a direct message about those books that you were mentioning. Just so you know, no rush at all. Appreciate the generosity though. Yeah, good point. Good point, Brian. That would actually be a lot easier. Isn't that a great sound? This is actually going faster than I thought it would. There we go. It's a little bit better. Should probably get like a knife, eh? Sandcore, yeah. Maybe I should release an album of sanding sounds. I'll sample nothing but sanding. There we go. I'm just going to check it against the shortest part of the switch. See how it's a bit big still. Yeah, exactly. It's a bit big still. I'm going to try trimming it a bit like this. That's I feel like I'm going to slice my finger open on YouTube by doing this, so maybe this isn't the best idea. Okay. Maybe I can cut it still without getting crazy here. Oh, there we go. More furnace for you guys. I'm such a pro at YouTube, eh? There we go. Oh, shit. It's... Oh, that's not good. It, like, squished it. Maybe it'll be okay. Let's see if I can Maybe I can open it up a bit with a screwdriver. As long as it's not too stretched. Yeah, exactly. Man, Dave, you know, you're doing so great at YouTube. People love listening to the furnace background noise in your live streams. It's great. Okay. Well, that is ugly. Not that it has to look pretty. It would be nice if it looked nice. That's not bad. That's pretty good right there. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to be doing a little bit of Black Friday shopping as well. Santa has to get some stuff for the kids, so I'm going to be doing some shopping tomorrow. So maybe I'll pick up a set, and yeah. And I think I'm going to get like an overhead tripod too, because the one that I had hanging from the ceiling last week, I kept banging my head on it, and so it was less than optimal. You know what I mean? Definitely not going to be the prettiest solution in the world, but as long as it works. I'm going to try this. See if I can get it on there. All right. Guess I didn't really need the sandpaper. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely get some files. It's one thing I don't have in my life. Okay. So let's see if we can get it on there. There we go. It seems a little high on the one side. So I might actually sand it down a little bit more. Let me see if it actually... Yeah. I'm going to sand it down a little bit, but it seems to be holding like that, but obviously it needs some reinforcements, you know? So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to sand it down a little tiny bit. It's a little high on what's one side. I didn't really cut it that straight. Yeah, I've got my, here's my reinforcements here. I got some super glue. Purchased from the dollar store. It's funny though that remember when I first showed the gear graveyard, I said most of it would be mechanical. So far, I've been correct. So far, most of the problems have been mechanical. Right? It's like the pot was broken on the tube screamer. Mechanical. Right? The switch is broken. It's just because people, you know, you use it, right? This is really hard to sand. I think I'm gonna try this. Do-do-do-do-do. I don't know if that did anything. Nothing like sanding your fingertips. My nails are gonna look great at the end of this. Oh boy. So the holidays are coming, eh, guys? The holidays are coming. The holidays. It's a big day. You got Thanksgiving going on in the U.S. Black Friday tomorrow. Next thing you know, it's going to be Christmas. I realized that I should have looked ahead in the schedule, because one of my videos is dropping on Christmas Eve. I'm not really sure how many people are going to be watching electronics videos on Christmas Eve. I think there are some more important things to do, like being with your loved ones. I think that looks pretty good though. Okay, let's get this guy in here. Look at that. Destiny. Destiny has brought us here. Oh, I think the Santa Claus parade is today, isn't it? Got to get the kids to watch that after school. Nothing like a float, you know? People just love floats. And balloons, right? Here we go. I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, right? It's like, it's a cheap solution. It could work. If it doesn't work, we'll go back to the drawing board. My thought is, though, is that I need to put it through. I'm going to have to like mess with it every day, turn it on and off a bunch, see if it holds up. And if it holds up fine, then we'll leave it. Other than that, we'll, you know, if it doesn't, then we'll have to go back to the drawing board. Oh, no way. Oh, that's kind of a drag, Brian. Well, I'll be around on Christmas Eve for sure. So, and the video will definitely be released. So yeah, but yeah, I got a playing Santa that night. Kids are just excited. My kids are 8, turning 8 and 3. So it's very, very exciting time of year for us. So I'm just going to drop a little glue in there just to kind of hold it in place, right? I don't know if that's going to hold, but worth a shot. Oh, shit. I got glue on it. Crap. Oh, well. Okay, well. That'll break. I just got to wait for it to dry now. And I'll scrape the excess glue off. That'll be fine. Should be fine. Sweet. I don't know if I can you use, does anybody know, can you use isopropyl alcohol on super glue? Will it clean it off? Fingernail polish. Lovely. Because I do have 99% isopropyl too. I don't know if that'll work though. I guess nail polish removers acetate, is that right? So slight little bit different, right? It's a different thing. Yeah, just a little bit of excess. It might, I don't know, it might come off. It was worth a try. Hold on. I got these great long Q-tips, or cotton swabs. Sorry, they're not Q-tips. These are nice and long. Ah, yeah. Super excited, right? Yeah, they just couldn't be more excited. So, you know how it is. It's just exciting. Oh, there we go. That was pretty good. Yeah, you know, everybody's still excited for Santa, you know. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. And my 3-year-old, she's really started chatting a lot. And so yeah, we're excited to hear what she has to say about Christmas this year. She's a real character, that kid. Just going to do a little isopropyl just to clean up some of this excess, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if it'll do anything, but worth a shot. You know what I should have got? You know, you can get that, the accelerator, right? For the glue. I should have got some of that. Nothing like, you know what? Maybe this is my new thing on YouTube, watching glue dry. What do you think? It's just an idea. Just an idea. Oh, have you seen that new YouTube channel where people watch glue dry? Oh yeah. Yeah, we did that last year. With our older kid, and she just thought it was so neat that you could track Santa. She's at the point though where she's starting to question the validity of this whole ordeal though. So trying to enjoy it, you know. And that looks pretty good. Hey? I mean, as I said, it's cheap. It's, you know, it's a solution. Looks like I got a bit of excess glue on there, but I think it should be okay. I guess I should let it dry a little bit longer before I test it out. But, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. What was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, Ed, I wanted to mention, you were asking about the new features in Ableton 12.3 that I was excited for. They've added stem separation to it. So I haven't really messed around too much with stem separation, but I'm excited to try it. I'm excited to try it a little bit. Just obviously for sampling stuff, right? And also, like, when I'm making videos, it's awesome to be able to take my old songs and, like, separate stuff out, right? And then I can rearrange it for the video and stuff. That's kind of my thought that I'll probably end up doing more of, like taking vocals out or whatever. But yeah, you can, like, be great for extending mixes and stuff, right? But yeah, that's the biggest update. There's some other, like, effects, like I think there's some sort of, like, panning situation. I don't know. Tremolo, that kind of crap. What else was there? Not sure what else there were. There's a couple other things, but the stem separation was the one that I was kind of most excited for. So it seems dry. But yeah, and the other cool thing too with the stem separation is, like, I've been listening to stuff, you know, just listening to records and stuff lately, and I thought it would be cool, like, in theory, you could sample a drum break, right? And then instead of chopping that drum break, you could convert that section of the song to MIDI, right? And then trigger your own samples, right? And then mess around with it too. So, I mean, that to me is just, like, next level shit. Because, like, you know, I'm not much of a drummer to begin with, but I can make a groove kind of thing, you know? So, yeah, I think it'd be super useful even just to hear stuff, to kind of, like, just split things up and see how people mix stuff, you know? There's some stuff that I hear that I go, man, I just wish I could hear the tracks individually so I could understand how the mix was done. So that's kind of like, you know, it's like a bridge to that, right? Which I think is really neat. So let's try this guy out. Hopefully we didn't glue it in place. Come on. There we go. I did glue it in place. Of course it's glued in place. Shit, I glued it in place. Oh boy. Ruh-roh. Oh boy. I glued the button in place. Way to go, buddy. I have to get out the nail polish remover. Yeah. Look, it's totally glued in place. I put way too much glue on there. Oh boy. You know what? I bet I could loosen it with a knife. There can't be that much on there. What a bonehead. Yeah, Russ, I'm not sure how they do it. It must be some specialized like dynamic, some sort of like dynamic algorithm of some sort that is doing like some pretty advanced like notch filtering and stuff, I would imagine. I really don't know though. I really don't know much about it. I just know that it's pretty neat. I think I'm gonna need to get some. Who dares me to hit it with a hammer? You dare me? Give it a little tap. Maybe I'll just give it a little love tap. See if I can get it to move. There we go. There we go. Phew! Check that out. Good enough for me. Okay, so I mean, it seems pretty solid. Okay, here's the plan. Let's put it back together. I'm going to power it up and see if we actually get it to toggle on and off. And then, yeah, I'm going to have to, you know what I'll do? I'll do like a daily update on Patreon of me messing around with it and just testing it out every day to make sure that it's robust. You know? I think that would be a good Patreon exclusive content. Did it end up working? I don't know. I'm going to have to subscribe to Patreon to find out. That kind of thing. Right? Did that little tiny plastic actually work? All right. By the way, just before we move on here, can I just say how much I like this style jack for devices? That is great. This style is really nice. We should look into something like this for our outputs, hey? On the S3-1200. I think that would be really cool. I really like these style jacks. Yeah, it looks like a city, doesn't it? Or yeah, a mini power plant. But yeah, I really like these because the nice thing is they're super easy to clean, right? And they're not. Doesn't look like they're open back, so you can spray contact cleaner in there without it going everywhere in the circuit, which is, you know, it evaporates anyway, but it's still nice to kind of keep it contained, right? So let's try to get this. There we go. Lovely. Man, this is great. So the guy that I'm fixing this for, his top two fixes were the Tube Screamer and the Line 6 Echo Park. So he's going to be very, very pleased, I hope. Hope you'll be very pleased with the that I got both of these working, hopefully. I'm going to put the screws back in. There's not many screws, so I'm just going to put them in. Not that I'm like getting cocky or anything, that it's going to work, that we don't have to open it back up again. But, you know, might as well just put them back in. There's only 4. I do like that about this enclosure too. Not many screws. 4 screws. You open it up. Bada bing, bada boom. Done. You know, that's great. Somebody was really showed up to work that day at Line 6 when they designed this thing. I do need to get a ratchet to tighten those jacks. So I am going to get one in a minute. All right, sweet. So let me see if I can check that out. We'll do one of these. Try and get the leg out of the way so you guys don't have to look at the leg. That didn't really work very well, did it? Come on. Oh boy. It's not the most elegant thing in the world. I'm definitely going to buy a Black Friday deal overhead tripod so I don't look like I'm, you know, so it doesn't have to look like this. It'll be more streamlined. This whole process needs to be more streamlined. I just need to bite the bullet and make an investment into that kind of thing, right? It's not like I'm not putting out videos every freaking week or videotaping every week. Okay. So I'm going to grab just a ratchet to tighten these guys up. They seem a little loose. So right? What do you mean? I have a feeling this thing is going to fall, and I'm going to have to pick up all this whole set. Anyway, all right, let's see. What do you think? 14? 13? 12? Number 12? Let's try number 12. First guess. Man. See, this one's missing a washer. That really sucks. I could probably figure something out for that. Hey? Could probably figure that out. But for now, we'll leave it. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Success. I guess I should put it that way so it's more orient. Oh, boy. There we go. Wait. Let's see if I can. There we go. I mean, it presses. The question is, does it turn off the sensor inside? All right. Come on. Let's go. Let's do this. Fingies crossed. Man, that, I just realized this barrel jack is kind of loose. Here, let me see if I can get that in front of you guys. See that? Got a little bit of a shaky jack. And that is really, I mean, it's fine. I think it'll be okay. Little looser than I would like. But, all right, let's see if we can get this thing to turn off and on properly. As per the manual. All right, so what I'm going to do is just take a patch cable. Do one of these. We're on. We're off. We're on. Am I missing something? Maybe. Maybe it's always off. Maybe that light is always blinking. Oh boy. I think we're going to have to plug it in. We're going to have to plug it into an amp. Because we need to hear. So the tap temp, it seems like it's always on. WTF, as they say. Okay. I need a cable, don't I? We need a cable. We need to plug in our little crapola amp and go from there. We need to find out for sure. We have to find out for sure whether or not this thing is on or not, right? It's time, guitar time. It's guitar time. Time to play guitar. Time for shredding. Oh boy. Time to shred. All right. So we're going to go from the output to here. And then we're going to plug in a cable. Okay. Let's plug into here a monophonic audio. Okay. Okay, you guys probably can't hear that. This amp is so quiet. Yeah, it won't turn off. Yeah. Still nothing. Yeah, I don't know. If I hold it down, you can hear the effect. Yeah, it won't turn off. Yeah. It's like it thinks it's turning off, but it doesn't turn off all the way. Well, let's think about this for a second. Maybe you know what? Remember when I knocked out the discs of that one? I wonder if I messed. I'm thinking I'm having a thought. I'm having a deep and meaningful thought. Okay. Okay. Hey, always something, eh? Always something. Always something extra for you. I think, see if I can get a better. There we go. That's a little bit better. Look at that. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Supposed to be foot activated, so it's enabled when. Right. You press the button, you press the foot switch. You press this guy, right? You engage the effect. If it's on, you can tap it, right? And you get tap tempo, and you can, which we know works. So let's open it back up for a sec. Let me loosen off these guys. Well, we wanted to open it. I might fix this anyway. Let's open it back up real quick and think about it. Give it some thought. Some deep and meaningful thoughts. Well, the good news is that the mechanical part of it seems to be holding up, which is great. It's one less thing to worry about. What would be keeping it on? What would be holding it on? A dirty switch? Okay. So here's our switches. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you toggle it on and off. So here's our switches. So the plastic piece here, right? It taps this and this other little angled piece in here. I don't know if you can see that. See that? Sorry. That triggers this right here. So is it not, maybe it's not hitting that on and off? You know what we could do? I have an idea. So let me get my meter. Where did I put my meter? All right. So here's the points of the switch, that one switch, right? So they're not connected, right? They're connected that way, but they're not connected that way. So you press down the button, and they connect. So that's working, right? That makes sense because it's just like a regular push button, right? You hit it, turns on the effect. That's what I'm thinking, right? And then this guy here, this switch here, I thought was tap tempo. That was kind of my intuition, was that it's probably the tap tempo portion. So this gets tapped and it sends information to the microcontroller that says, hey, this is the tempo that they want to play at. Yeah, this. So what would be causing it not to toggle on and off? Let's power it on like this. Let's power it on and see if we can get it to toggle on and off by pressing the buttons. That seems to make sense, right? Okay. So now we need a jack like that. Now you guys won't be able to see this part, but... Oh, it needs to be connected. Shitballs. I'm going to have to connect it to the amp to hear it, right? Unless this needs to be together. Well, we'll find out. Let's hook it up. Maybe we'll luck out and it doesn't have to be connected. Maybe it'll just like default to patch. So this is our output, right? That's our output. We're going to go into the amp. Oh, God. Oh my gosh. Well, that's actually better view for you guys. That's actually, wow. That's great. Okay. Now let's plug in the guitar. Oh, we don't even need to plug in the guitar. We can just see if it should make like an effect noise. Yeah, exactly as I suspected. It needs to be connected to that to work. Because not even getting any noise there. Why aren't you turning on and off? Talk to me. Think about this for a second. I wonder, I don't know if, I assume this is on and off, and I assume this is tap tempo. That's my assumption, but I don't know that for sure. And I really wish I had I don't know if a scope would really help in this situation. I mean, it would, but it wouldn't. I don't know if it's necessary. Think about this for a second. This is a real challenge. This is a real challenge. We know that it's the continuity changes when we press this little tiny button here with it all assembled. We know that. And we know that the tap tempo works because when I was tapping the tempo, you saw the LED flash faster. But you should be able to press the effect. It turns on, right? You play. You're like Edge from U2, just in a wall of echo and reverb, and then you should be able to turn it off. But it's not turning off. But maybe it's not. Gotta think about this. Right. Like most pedals, inserting a plug into this jack will turn on the power. So is it the mono jack that's not disengaging? Would there be... Like most pedals, right, so inserting the mono jack turns it on. That makes sense. So wait a second. That inserting a plug into this jack, like most pedals, inserting a... Green equals effect on, amber off, red needs batteries. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you for that, Russ. Thank you. Like most pedals, inserting a plug into this jack. Yeah, no. I can pull it up if I have to. Inserting a plug into the... Which mono jack? The output or the input? I'm guessing the input, right? Isn't it the input that normally powers the pedal, or is it the output? I can't remember. It's usually the input, I think. Right? let's put this back together for a second and think about this. So I plug in my pedal, nothing's on, right? Like normal. Let's plug in the mono. The pedal's on, right? See it. That space where that moment, when I press this, it's not going to yellow, right? It's not going to yellow. But I think that it thinks it's going to yellow. And so it does, and since it doesn't, it goes back to on. Right. But I can go like this, right? I can go. And that slows down the delay time. So that's working fine. The switch is working fine. It's not, the problem is that it's not toggling, it's not going to off, right? Because that's where it should be off. But then it goes back on. So something, so my thought is that the microcontroller is going, hey, you're turning it off. And for whatever reason, it's not fully turning off. Yeah. I wonder if there's like a, what would it be doing? Probably be pulling it to ground, right? Because that's the most secure way of turning it off. Pulling it low, right, would be maybe yeah, that's what I was just thinking, is maybe what I need to do is take this out again and then pull this guy out. I'm not sure what this does. Yeah, good point, Brian. Let me check. Put my meter on. Okay. So I'm guessing there. That's what I was actually thinking, though, because I remember how, I don't know, Brian, do you remember last time when I took out that switch and how it fell out on me? I wonder if I put those discs that fell out of here back properly. Because that's ground. Here, let's pop it out. Okay. So that could really be cleaned up a bit, eh? Check that out. I'm going to try cleaning that. And see how these, it's hard to tell on the screen, but these discs that fell out of the switch have kind of like this angled look to them. And I had them all stacked in there like this. And I'm thinking that it might not have sorry, God. I'm wondering if it should be more like that so that these contacts get pressed together. I don't know. I'm a little bit at a loss on how this goes back together. I've never seen a switch like this, but that's my thought, is that maybe it needs to go together like that so that when you press the switch, it goes pop, pop. And then it makes a connection. Whereas if they're like stacked like this, there's nothing to actually make the connection because it's so, like, not brittle, but it's much more stiff. So it's not actually making a connection with this ground plane here. So maybe Brian's right. Maybe that does have something to do with the on-off. But let's clean this first. And then I'll try that. I'll try reinserting that, like, differently. But the thing is that the way that it's, yeah, that is weird. I gotta think about that. Let's just do a little bit of this. Got some schmutz on there. It's definitely worn. Definitely worn. You can see all that crud on there. So it's got 3 of these little discs in there, and it's got an indent on the board. So you would think that they were sitting like this and constantly hitting that, right? But the thing is that when it's 3 of these stacked up like that, there's no play on that at all. There's no play to actually, even if you were hitting it with your foot, I don't think you would depress them. So I'm wondering if I have these like backwards, like maybe I put them in there like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try facing them up like that, maybe. And then putting this one a little different so that when it's against the board and this thing actually gets pressed down, this centerpiece actually gets pressed down, this is actually going to make contact with the board to go bang. Maybe? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Maybe it's the other way around. But it wouldn't make any sense if it was the other way around because there would be an indent, right? There wouldn't be an indent like that on the board. Well, let's try this, I guess. I don't know. A bit of a head scratcher. Reassembling the button really is not my favorite thing in the world. So let's do this. Let's put that there, like that, right? And then we're going to put these the opposite direction, I think. so that when you hit this button, it will press this down and then press that down to make contact with the board. I mean, worst case scenario is it doesn't work, right? I don't think I can fuck it up. Okay. See, now let's just try. See, now I'm getting an actual switch. Now I'm actually getting like an actual contact to the board, right? Let's try putting this back on. Okay. I think it's in there. It's hard to tell. I really don't like how they assembled this board. It's kind of, the pin header is tricky. Okay. There we go. Okay. So let's do this. Let's get this guy plugged in. And then we'll plug in. So we should... So I'm going to plug into my pedal board power supply, and let's see if it does it turn on, right? It should turn on. Oh, that's the output. Okay, we're on. No. So it's still not. Let me try orienting them a little bit differently. Let me try one other thing. Okay. Does that make sense? I don't think that makes sense. I think what you want is, maybe you want, yes, yeah, it did. Sorry, Russ. Yeah, the amp that I have here isn't very loud. Yeah, it's not very loud. See, that makes sense to me. That makes sense. Because then you actually engage it, right? I'm gonna have to look back at the... I don't even know how this button goes together. Let's see if this works. Come on. There we go. Okay. Let's try this again. If not, I think I might have to look at the LED. I don't need to do that. You can feel it more engaged now, though. But I don't know if it's supposed to have that much pop to it. Yeah, it's supposed to go faster than that, right? Yeah, this is too much. That's not how tap tempo should work, right? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be doing that. Can you jumper the connection on the back of the switch? Possibly. Let's see something. Maybe if let's try this one more time. Okay, so this is ground, obviously. This has to be ground. There's my center of my switch, right? Now if I press it, I should get... Yeah. Oh, fuck. I can't even press the switch at the same time. You know what? If I'm just testing that, I can put it back together for a minute and see if I can get it to work. See if I can find out where the switch is making contact, right? Okay. So here's, I'm assuming ground, and here's the middle of the switch. Let's do this. Put on continuity mode, right? Not connected. Yeah, I'm not getting anything. Which is weird, right? I mean, these... That's the same. I assume that that's ground. You know what? I should probably figure out if that's ground first. 1 second. Let's take this out. Right? Okay. Take that out. Now let's figure out if this, if this here is ground, right? Because what does that tell us? That would tell us that when you press this switch, when the switch is pressed, it would be grounded, right? You're making the connection to ground to make it... okay, here, hold on. So these outside pads, these are all connected to ground. This is all ground. So if I put my... let's see. So that means if I put... this should be connected to the black, right? Which it is. So that means that these outside pieces are grounded, right? And are these connected? No. They're not connected. So that would mean that when they are connected, we're grounding this to toggle whatever, right? So that means that likely this angled piece, right, needs to be these pieces, these wings that are on the sides, need to be sitting in a way that these are all grounded, right? When you press the switch, it makes that ground connection, right? So if I were to take a clamp and hold this in place and test whether the center is making connection to ground, it should, right? Let's do that. Just trying to figure out how this switch works. Because like I'm wondering if I'm just like not assembling it correctly. So now if I go like this, if I can even get it to stay engaged. That's the hard part, is having it stay engaged. So let's do this. Let's go see if I can do this with one hand, two hands. So there. Shit. Where do you think ground is? Let's see if we can find a better ground. And of course I'm dropping things already. Whoa. Actually, you know what? I have an alligator clip. I have an alligator clip that I think would work better for this situation. Okay. So here's an alligator clip. I'm going to swap it out, right? That way I can do this with two hands and test the switch, right? Okay. Oh, really? Okay. Okay. Russ, you know what the thing is that I think Brian just brings up a good point, because this switch fell apart on me, right? And it's got these 3 pieces of metal inside. And so I'm just not sure if I've put them back into the pedal correctly. So that's what I'm trying to figure out, is, did I put these back in there correctly? Like, are they all oriented the same way? Is one upside down and they fit together like that? I don't know the best way to put them back together. So that's why I'm kind of spending this time trying to understand how the switch works, right? So can you test like a normal switch to verify operation? Yeah, well, what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna do trying to find a ground point. Surprising that is not ground. Just trying to find a ground spot to clip onto. It's just really strange that it's not. I'm not getting anything. That is weird. Let's do this. Okay. That's ground, right? So now I know that these wings, Jesus Christ. The wings on the wings here are connected to ground because I'm getting continuity, right? The center, this center piece is not connected to ground. Okay? So the idea is, right? You have this on the switch, you press down, and your center should be connected to ground, right? Which it is. Okay. So it seems odd to me that you have 3 of these discs, right? So we know that this one has to sit like this against the board. So it presses down and it makes all the ground connections. Yeah. Makes all the ground connections, right? But 3 of these like this, like you can't even move it, right? Even if I pounded on it, you wouldn't be able to do it. So, and if you attached it like this, though, maybe you attach it like this, but then you would be grounded all the time, right? Is that right? And then you press down and you get your connection to the center. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a very good point. Yeah. Why don't we try with that? Why don't we try 1 and see if that even solves our problem, right? So let's just try 1 and see what happens. Okay. So we have 1 of those discs in there. Okay. Okay, we got power there. Let's plug in our mono input. We should have power. We've got power. Still, yeah, it's not. So I actually think now that I'm doing this though, I'm thinking it's the other way around. Hey Brian, you know that little tiny switch we were looking at last time? That is the other switch in this system. I think that's the one that's doing the tap tempo because you can go super fast with it, right? Whereas this is just like should be doing on off, but it's not toggling it off. Oh, is it? Okay, cool. Nice. What does this do? So tap tempo works. It's just on off is not working. Oh, it got stuck. That really, really sucks. So one disk isn't the problem. So let's think about this for a minute. We know that it's making the ground connection because it... Do we know that it's making the ground connection? Well, we do because, well, we don't know that it's making ground connection when we have it assembled, right? So let's test that first. If you ground the center connection on the back, it will switch off. Yeah, right? That's the theory, right? So, okay. Let's do this. Let's do what Brian said. Let's try, I need a jumper. Okay. Let's try what Brian says here. This makes sense to me. So we're going to have to kind of figure out a way to set this up so that I can see the LED and do the ground connection, right? So that we all can. No worries. Thanks, Russ. Thanks for coming, man. Appreciate it. So let's, how am I going to do this? Let's do this. Got mono. Okay. Okay, so I guess I could tack it. Hey? Why don't I try tacking it in place first? That'll probably make our lives a little easier. Let me just fire up my soldering iron. I'll just tack it in onto ground. I'll just tack it on there and see how it does. And then if this doesn't work, then I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board, right? I see what you're saying though, Brian, because it's like maybe it's just not making the connection. When I'm pressing it when it's assembled, right? Oh boy. Let's see if this thing... All right, let's see if I can tack it on here. Okay, so that's tacked on, right? That's tacked on. Then what we can do is we can say, let's double check that we're connected to ground officially, right? And we should be. Gonna turn on my thing. Okay, let's plug in. Let's plug in. And we need our jack hooked up, right? Okay. Now, in theory, I should be able to, it should be on, which it is. Okay. So we're on. Let me speed it up a bit. So we know that, okay. Now, what we need to do is get another jumper, right? And say, connected here. Whoops. And let's see if we can get this. Okay. Oh, it changed color. See that? It must be, right? So the question is does it So it was interesting when I was doing it on the center pad. 1 second. Let's do this. Plug it back in. Okay, so we're back to green. Okay, we're back to green. That gets us to like amber, I guess, or red. I don't know if that's amber or red. So that's the center pad. So let's try this. You know what I honestly think it is, Brian? It's that pad in the center. I think it might actually be worn down. So it's definitely the switch. I wonder if that piece is actually toggling that switch. I wish there was a way that we could figure that out. Well, there should be a way we can figure it out, right? Because if I do that and I press the center, I should get continuity, which I don't. See, I'm not getting anything. So it's not grounding still. That's what it is. It's not. I mean, it's not that. Maybe it's not getting actually down to hit the switch. That's why I'm thinking it might be. You think it's 2 back to back. So 2 bubbled against the board and then 1 concaved? Is that what you're thinking? So let me just see if I'm understanding you, what you think. So you think it's 2 concaved against the board like that, and then 1 on top. So like that. That's what you're saying. You know what? I wonder. Let me go back here for a second. No, 2 back to back. So 2 back to back. Oh, just 2 is what you're saying. Just 2 like that. See, what I'm thinking though is that maybe, do you think I'm getting enough connection on there? I think that maybe that the point is worn down enough on there, on that center pad, that it might not be making connection. Then the one underneath that I had to start. Oh, okay. So 1, so you're saying 1 sitting on the board like a dome, right? And then the other 2 sitting on top like that. It's hard to communicate, isn't it? That seems pretty clicky to me. So maybe you're right. Let's try that. But I'm kind of wondering if this pad is really worn down, and it would like, it's like not making connection. You know what? Actually, we could figure that out, whether that spot is really worn down, right? All we can do is just say, grab the lead, not quite, turn the top one. So, oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. So 2 like that. Right. Yeah, that's definitely clicky still. But here's something to think about. Is if I put my meter right in the center. Okay, it is connected. So that's good. Maybe it is just the orientation of this, of these little metal pieces. Okay. Now, So now I should be able to press the button, right? And this should connect to ground. It's still not. Still not liking that. I mean, I should be. Yeah, I'm not sure it's actually. It seems like it's getting like, it's like it's getting caught. I was getting like intermittent connection there. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. Like it. I don't know if I'm, you know what the problem is that it's so hard to tell whether my plastic piece is actually centered in the button. Shit. Like, I don't know if I'm getting enough force. Well, you know what? We can figure it out one way this way. Doy. Okay. Because, like, you really got to press on that. It's connecting, but you really got to press on it. So something's not. Something's not right. So one wasn't enough. I'm thinking that it probably didn't get engaged far enough, right? That's why I'm wondering if maybe you need like a sandwich at the top. Like maybe it, but if I, because that would be, let's see for a second. Let's do this. Oy. Yeah. Try like that, right? And then maybe like a sandwich. do this. I'm sure whoever designed this switch was well-intentioned, but man, wow. What a pain in the ass, eh? Okay. So let's do... see if I can press it. Oh, you got to turn on the meter there, Davo. Yeah, the one on the bottom's upside down. Oh, it fell. It fell apart. Man. Fell apart on me. God, that's a pain in the ass. Oh, man. God. Fiddly. Okay. So does it connect it, though? See, I'm still not getting a ground connection. Yeah. So that's not right. One at the bottom has to be the one on the bottom has to be like a dome, because that's making the connection on the board. These tabs connect to the ground plane. So if I put this one upside down, the next one facing up, right? That means that the centers are connected, but not the outsides, which is what you want. And then this one should sandwich on top of it. Then when you press the button down, this makes connection. Does that make sense? This makes connection and should press down the one on the board to the center. Maybe? I don't know. I'm getting tired. I need to like write down all the different permutations. Oh man, this thing is so fiddly. Seriously. Oh man, this switch is so fiddly. I am irritated beyond belief. Like, it just, the minute you put it on, it just definitely wasn't meant to be messed around with, this thing. This switch was definitely not meant to be messed around with. Oh, man. For frig's sake. Like, it's got to be the the most irritating switch I've ever had the pleasure of working on. Like, it's so fiddly. I'm sure it was easy in the factory to assemble. The fact that it's so difficult to get it back together feels like this is probably the correct way of orienting it. Come on. Like something is stopping it from going all the way down. And it's driving me bananas. Come on. Seriously. Oh, come on. Keeps popping out on me. Good Lord. Oh, and the jumper just broke. Whatever. I'll fix that later. Like it. What the hell? Oh, this is so frustrating. I couldn't be more annoyed with this switch. Come on! Good Lord. It just keeps, it's constantly popping out. Maybe it's not supposed to be like this. Yeah. You think? Maybe. I'm just super frustrated. I just can't get it to hold in place. I'm going to give it one more college try, as they say, and then that's it. I'm becoming frustrated. Think about that. We know it's not. Okay. I mean, I'm sure they had like a sweet machine that just like put these all in. I'm sure they had an amazing machine custom made for this specific process. Okay. See, I press the button though, and it pops right up. So this isn't the way that it goes on. There's no way. There's no way that's how it goes on. Because it shouldn't pop up like that, right? It should be like snap. Maybe, okay, one more orientation. And that's it. Davey tired. Okay, so let's try that. We'll go back over here to our ground. Okay, let's make sure we're connected to ground. We're connected. I press that, it's connected. Okay. So I was pressing the button and it was connecting to ground. Okay. So if I put this back together and it doesn't turn on and off, it's likely the additional plastic that I added to that. Excuse me. Right? Okay. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate the support. Nope. It's the plastic that I've added. It's not fully engaging the switch. I can tell you that. It feels funny going in, like when you press the button. See, and then it gets stuck too. So I don't think it's fully engaging the switch. I mean, we can check if it is. Let's disconnect power real quick. And I mean, we should be able to tell, right? So yeah, it's not fully engaging the switch. Yeah, that's what it is. It's not fully engaging. Okay, so and of course it popped out again. Yeah, same. I am gonna have to go too. This isn't, it's not stirring the Kool-Aid. Something's not stirring the Kool-Aid. And yeah. Yeah, anyhow, that sucks. That sucks. It's something with this switch. It's real pain in the parts. God, what a pain, eh? It must just not be hitting the switch. Like it should be. Maybe it's not long enough. I don't know. Maybe I do need to add a little bit of something to it. Yeah, that's really shitty. Anyway, all right. Well, it's been a real hoot, hey? Ay caramba. Ay caramba. This pedal is real pain in the parts. Anyways, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Really appreciate it. Russ, Ed, Brian, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, real grind today. Real unfortunate. Really unfortunate that we couldn't get this thing going again. I'm angered. I'm angered. Anyway, yeah. So I'll probably hop on Monday, maybe. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how things go. I might hop on Monday. I might not. I got a lot of work to do on the next few videos, and I'm hoping to get it done sooner than later because I'd like to not have to film during the holidays except for live streams. You know, with the kids home and everything, it's a lot, and yeah, so I'm hoping to get ahead a bit. So anyways, thanks for coming out again, and yeah, if I don't see you on Monday for the live stream on Monday, then I'll see you on Thursday, and hopefully we'll have this thing figured out. Am I right, or am I right? All right, enjoy. Have a great weekend. Thanks, man. You have an enjoyable holiday, by the way. Have a great Thanksgiving. And hopefully, as I said before, hopefully get to hang out with the fam or your loved ones, whatever. And yeah, enjoy it, man. Take it easy.